What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we need to have a look at which One Piece TCG set you should be focusing on, which one is more deserving of your attention. Because what we've got right now is the recently released Premium Booster 01, which is just very recently out. We have got ourselves OP-09, which is not out for a little while yet, but we have had the full reveal. Actually, it's not that far out, it's not next month. But we've had the full reveal and release and all in Japan. We know exactly what's going on with that set. Outside of the Treasure Rare, which is an English exclusive, we know everything. And then we've got OP-10. Now, OP-10 is a set that for a long time we've known very little about. But this week, I've been able to show you the manga rare and the alternate arts, and well, at least a bunch of them anyway, and the special rares and all of that. And now we do know an awful lot about that set. So now we can go and make a little bit of a comparison. Sound like a plan? Excellent. So let's go from oldest to newest, and let's start with Premium Booster 01, which I have described many times as, on release, the best set we've had so far. I think this is a phenomenal set, but it's a reprint set. There is exactly one new card in that set, and that is the Leader Sanji, which is available obviously as a lovely manga head alternate art. It's beautiful, but that is it. We have exactly one new card in that set. It's your Manga Sanji. That is it. So, if you're looking for a new set that's going to change the metagame or anything along those lines, move along. You won't be finding it here. It is not that kind of set, and it was never intended to be that kind of set. It's not happening. But if you're looking for a set with a bunch of awesome alternate arts, oh, it's phenomenal, ladies and gentlemen. It's absolutely phenomenal. Like, we need to take a second here and just talk about the Gold Dawn. The Gold Dawn is ridiculous. It's one of the very best things about the set. Me, personally, I'm a big fan of Iceberg, but I know that's not one of the most sought after. But things like the Zoro Dawn is absolutely absurd. I know the Law Dawn is one that is going to end up being very, very popular. And the pull rates for these are very, very low, but they are stunning. They are brilliant. A lot of people are going to want these for their deck. It is awesome. And of course, we have now had it confirmed that God packs are real, with all of the old manga cards all in one pack. Your Shanks, your Ace, your Luffy. And for what it's worth, most of them are pretty easy to tell apart from the regular. And also, they seem to only be available as a God pack. And opening a God pack of Premium Booster 01 is about the best pack you're ever going to open of any card game ever. The odds are incredibly low, but God packs are out there for Premium Booster 01. So you've got God packs, you've got Gold Dawn, all of this is very rare, but it's out there. You've also got the manga Nami, which is a very cool manga rare. And then we've got the stuff that isn't necessarily attracting the value, but is extremely cool nonetheless. So things like, for instance, I mean, my favourite is your one-legged soldier. It's phenomenal. We've got things like the alternate art Yamato, which I know an awful lot of people are absolutely in love with. We've got things like the alternate art Boa Hancock, which is proving to be incredibly popular. And that's where we are with Premium Booster 01. As a set, I adore it. I love it. I think it's brilliant. But it is a case of, you've got big hits there, like your God Pack and your Gold Dawn. But then we've still got the regular version of the Gold Dawn, which is cool, but isn't really worth anything. And then you've got things like your alternate arts, for instance. So, a very cool set to collect, great for reprints with some big hits, but not going to change the metagame. But then we've got OP-09. And I described PRB-01 on release as the best set we've had so far. Well, I think OP-09 takes its title, like, immediately. OP-09, I think, probably is the best set we've had so far. OP-09 is phenomenal. Like, firstly, we've got 4 manga rares of the 4... It's a 4 Emperor-styled set, right? So you've got your Luffy, which is going to be your big one there. But then we've also got your Shanks, and we've got your Buggy, And we've got your Marshall D. Teach, your Blackbeard, which is kind of ridiculous. And then we've also got wanted poster special rares of those same four, your Luffy, but then your Shanks, your Buggy, and your Blackbeard, your Marshall D. Teach. But then we've also got regular special rares, as in not wanted posters, the OP-05 style, and you've got ones like Nami and Boa Hancock that are going to be crazy popular, and Rob Lucci that I'm personally a very big fan of. So we've got two types of special rares. The wanted posters are redonk, the others are just your OP-05 style, which are incredibly cool. Plus you've got your four manga rares, and then, oh yeah, by the way, we've got your gold manga rare Roger, which is the number one card that can be pulled from a booster pack. There's no bigger, more expensive, more valuable, more sought after, phrase it how you will, card that can be pulled from a booster pack right now. It is huge and ridiculous and amazing. And that gives you the big hit that you're looking for from Premium Booster 01. Well, now we got it in OP-09 as well. And then you got like the Manga Luffy is also a very big hit, obviously. And that's just in terms of the hits. The four manga rares, the gold manga rare, the two types of special rares. That's just the big hits in the set. Because then we've actually got the whole playability thing. And like in OP-09, there is a strong argument that Shanks becomes the best leader in the game. It is a great leader that is seeing a huge amount of playing success. But then your Buggy Cross Guild leader is a decent leader seeing a bunch of playing success. Nico Robin is popping up here and there. I'm seeing it winning some flagship battles over in Japan. Same thing with your Purple Luffy to a smaller extent. And then there's a strong argument that Marshall D. Teach is also one of the very best decks in the format. That is seeing some playing success in small flagship tournaments, but also bigger tournaments over in Japan. We are seeing Blackbeard absolutely showing up. Like it literally just won the Wave 2 Fukuoka area tournament, your Championship 2024 qualifier. It won a giant tournament in Japan the other day. And there's obviously with that, there is now a very strong argument that actually Blackbeard is the best deck from OP-09, not Shanks. The early smaller tournaments, it was a real Shanks fest, but there is a strong argument here that actually Marshall D. Teach, especially now it's gone and won in Fukuoka, is now the better of them. But that's kind of my point. OP-09 is great for leaders. Lim is pretty terrible, I'll be honest with you. Lim is like the one leader in the set which is just bad. Sorry. But every other leader that we're seeing in the set, and like I say, you know, when you look at things like Robin and Luffy, they're not exactly stunning decks that are winning everywhere every day. Same thing with Buggy. But they are good decks that are winning flagship tournaments here and there. But Shanks and Teach are actual full-on legit top-tier decks, and that makes OP-09 phenomenal. And that's the thing about OP-09. It's got everything. It's got the big hits. It's got a variety of hits with the two types of special rares, your four manga, etc., etc. And then it's got leaders and new archetypes, which are very, very playable and good. Because a lot of these new decks, you know, like your Buggy deck, your Shanks deck, your Marshall D. Teach deck, they are tribal decks, which are very, very heavy on cards from OP-09. And I do think OP-09 is going to go down as the best set so far. It's got everything. So after a big description like that, where do we land on OP-10? I don't think it's as good. Now, let's be clear. I am not saying that OP-10 is a bad set. Not by a long shot. I am saying that I think OP-10 is a step down from OP-09, and it should be. OP-09 is your big special second anniversary set. This is the next main set. I think it is a million times better than OP-08, which was a cool set, but it's just surrounded by better sets. But I do think OP-10 overall is a little bit of a disappointment, purely compared to OP-09. Cannot stress that enough. Because let's face it, the manga is manga lore, which I do think is going to end up being one of the more sought-after manga rares. I think it's going to be one of the bigger manga rares. I think in terms of the special rares here, we're going back to the what I like to call slice of life style special rares, and we got things like Charlotte Pudding, like Sanji, for instance, like Charlotte Flambe, which I think are going to be big, really sought-after cards, and I adore the design. The Edward Newgate is probably my personal favourite special rare so far. We've got secret rares of like Gearfoil Luffy, with that wonderful alternate art to go along with the lore, which is, as I've said, also the manga rare. So the special rares are good, and the manga rare looks good. But they can't compete to the sheer number and specialness of the stuff from OP-09. There's no gold manga as far as we know. The manga lore looks good, but is it going to be as good as the 4 mangas from OP-09, including Luffy? Probably not. The special rares are great, but there's only 1 type rather than 2. It seems like a little bit of a step down in that regard. I need to point this out, I'm not a fan of the alt art leaders in the set. And I know that might sound a little bit mean, but the alt art leaders are your anime style, and I just don't like them as much. Now, in terms of the leaders, we've got the Dressrosa Usopp, which I do think is looking incredibly strong. And then we got Punk Hazard, Smoker, and Caesar Clown, which I think have an awful lot of potential. We've got Supernova Kid and Law, which could end up being pretty good. And we've got Don Quixote Pirate Sugar. All of these have a little bit of potential. I have really got my eye on Usopp. But it's not out yet. We can't say how good they are. What we can say is, when you look at how good the leaders are from OP-09, the last time we had a set with a group of leaders all doing that well was really like OP-05, which was also an anniversary set for what it's worth. So I do think OP-10, good set, but it could not ever have really lived up to OP-09. So given that I put this at the beginning as a which set should you buy video, it's OP-09. OP-09 is the set. Now, there is an argument for Premium Booster 01 because of the reprints and the collecting aspect, absolutely. But other than that, I do think it is OP-09, and I think, for once, we actually have a really clear answer. So there we go. That's what you need to know. And now it's over to you guys. Tell me which of these sets you're looking at. Tell me which ones are your priority. Tell me which ones you're going hard on. Tell me anything you want to tell me in the comment section. Get us! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at the Wasi. That's where we talk about One Piece and a bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing is always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.